Hey friends, good morning. Today is 14th of Feb 22. In my last 6 weeks of vacation, I had been reading a few books. I just wanted to take this opportunity to introduce few of those awesome books. This one is Getting More by Stuart Diamond. The other one is by an awesome Indian author Atul Jalan. Where will the man take us? The bold story of man technology is creating. And this is Creative Confidence by Tom and David Kelly. Today I am hoping to have a brief, short review on Creative Confidence, the book by Tom and David Kelly. This book is an author's answer to the perpetual question, which is mentioned in its preface: what was I put on the earth to do? Many of us may equate creativity to being artistic. This book opposes the myth. Once innovation skill and capabilities are not set in stone, we can always work upon creative confidence. This book outlines two types of mindsets: the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. Fixed mindset is basically self-limiting in nature, while the growth mindset is adventurous. Fixed mindset is basically because of the failure paradox, which is most of us may believe that the ultimate stroke of genius is because someone succeeds more often than other people, while the fact may be that those successful people just take more shots at the goal and shrug off many more failures. But in this monolithic civilizations and culture, we only tend to look at the success and not at the many failures that had preceded it. We can move on from a fixed mindset to growth mindset by learning from our failures. However, we have to own our failures, which is a rather difficult part. Most of us will shrug off from our failure and credit it to somebody else. However, this harms our own self because then we never learn from it and can never outgrow it. The other thing is emphasis upon is empathy, which means challenging our preconceived ideas. It means understanding the latent needs, even if the people in concern can't articulate themselves. The other point it brings forth is that we must always be able to reframe our challenges and question. A question that starts with why or what if can brush aside many superficial details and get to the heart of the matter. A typical example it mentions is that now you go to a village and see that the well water is not suitable for drinking. Now, someone from the village may come up that my mother gave me the water from this well the whole life long. Now, you mean that my mother was wrong? So, in such cases, you should be able to reframe the question. That brings in the creative capabilities and creative confidence. So, one must cultivate creative serendipity. There is a French phrase, "Le hasard ne favors que l'esprit prepares," which basically means chance favors the trained mind. So many times we say that a person has been lucky or it was just luck by chance. But the fact is that chance favors the trained mind. Creative energy itself is a contagious quality, but we must realize that tradition gets in the way of innovation. One other important aspect the book throws light upon is that striving for perfection can get in the way during the early stages of creative process. Now it gives a typical example. A class was taken for a pottery session. Half of the class was asked to focus on quantity, while the rest half was focused on quality. After the stipulated period, it was found that the class which focused on quantity prepared 1,000 pottery cups, while the class which focused on quality just prepared 40 cups. It was also noticed that the class which was pursuing quantity and not quality towards the end of their session were making pots of better quality than the class focusing on quantity. It was because they were so much now in practice of making pots that they were much more efficient than the class just pursuing quality. So this example is just to underline the importance that one must improve with every iteration. The life we live and the unlived life between us, between the two stands resistance. The resistance may be because of our own comfort zone that we make and find difficult to break. But resistance we can still battle. The worst is procrastination. Basically, it is just reminding ourselves of our own failings time and again. It's a personal weakness. To cultivate creative confidence, we have to break this glass ceiling. Creative confidence is just a journey of what we may think to be duty today, but tomorrow it becomes a passion. Society usually places a greater value on affluence and privileges of wealth. But if you go for the wealth, usually you end up much more miserable. What may look good may actually feel bad. To conclude it, creative confidence is our own choice to pick up a job, a career, or a calling. Usually, one may just pick up a job, try to make career out of it, but with creative confidence, it may turn up to be one's calling. Hope you enjoyed this discourse on this book, Creative Confidence. Take care. Bye bye. We'll see you around.